You may notice something a little bit different. Are these from that old truck? They could be. Wood, honeycomb. Yeah, this is the aerial target drone. That's a bottle of water. That's a full bottle of water. Somebody stashed some stuff out here. There's even more stuff. There's 2 bottles of water. Quick, what it looks like up close. See the scales and everything. See the front of the skull is missing and crushed. A lot of times that's where the mountain lion goes for. The mountain lion goes for the front of the skull and crushes it so they can't breathe, and that's how they take him down. My name is Steve from Las Vegas, and these are my adventures. As you know, we've been filming our hikes out in the Desert National Wildlife Reserve, looking for any evidence in the Kenny Veach disappearance. My theory is if he is out there, he did go to that mine where he left his keys and cell phone, but he may have continued on and hiked even farther out there. That's why this year I said we're going to keep on going and we're going to go deeper than ever before. Recently I received some information that there's an old derelict truck deep in the Sheep Range Mountains. It might have been an old logging truck back from, I don't know, 100 years or so ago. It's hard to say because back in the day there were old ranches. There's a lot of history in these mountains. So you can see in Google Earth right here, picture canyon entrance. This is where we've been focusing our search. The Kenny Veach mine is somewhere here, and then this kind of hike here around this small mountain range, this is 10 miles. This is a hike that Kenny supposedly did looking for the MCave, 10 miles. We're not looking for the MCave. We're looking for additional information to try to find Kenny. So he may have gone to these mountains. He may have gone to Sheep Peak. The hidden forest cabin is somewhere around here in the real deep part of the Sheep Range. Now this truck that I received information on is even farther. It is past the Sawmill Springs trailhead, deep in the mountains, somewhere in this area. And I didn't know exactly where. I didn't have a specific point, so what I did is I came all the way out here from Las Vegas. I drove up here to the Mormon Wells East entrance. I aired down and drove on dirt, which was really rough, all the way to the Sawmill Springs trailhead, and from there I had to hike 5 miles each way to the deepest part of the Sheep Range Mountain looking for the truck. That's what the video is about, and I really hope you enjoy it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start this adventure. Saturday, May 6th at the Desert National Wildlife Refuge. It's a beautiful morning. You can see the sun just coming up. So yeah, it is early. It is on the clock. I've got 5:15 a.m. It is an early one because we have got a long day today. Now you may notice something a little bit different. That is the full moon in the background out there. And you know the moon rises from the east and sets in the west. So we're facing west. So clearly this sign is not the usual sign we're at. We are at the east entrance of the Desert National Wildlife Range. And we're going to be driving out here about 10 or 15 so miles to a trailhead where we're going to start the hike. Today is going to be a long range hike deep in the mountains, and our mission today is to search for an old derelict truck that somehow has been left deep in the mountains. Now way back in the day, probably 50, maybe even 100 years ago, there used to be ranches out here. People would drive to these forests and do some logging. So it may be what that truck is for, but it is supposedly an old truck from the 40s or 50s. I don't have a whole lot of info. The person who gave me the details on this truck doesn't have a whole lot of info. Newsflash, I was out here last 2 weeks ago, and I did 10 miles out here looking for this truck. I didn't find it. So that video really didn't turn out very well. I didn't find the truck. There were some technical issues. We're out today. Not only do I have better information on where the truck is, may have found on satellite, but just so you know, I do have another individual with me today, and this individual is an expert on this area. They're in top physical condition, so they should be able to keep up with us just fine, and they're going to help guide me to where this truck supposedly is. It should be pretty cool looking. I've been told it's still there. It's somewhat intact, but trees may be growing around it. So that is where we're going today. And of course, the question: does this have something to do with Kenny Veach? The truck itself is several miles north of the hidden forest cabin. So that's within maybe 10 or so miles of the Kenny Veach mine. Did Kenny Veach hike out there? It is not outside the realm of possibility. So we don't want to exhaust any option in the search for Kenny Veach. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and head back to the truck, air down the tires, and begin this 10-15 or so mile drive deep into the mountains, and then we'll begin our hike. So I usually run about 34 psi on the road, 34 to 38, and I'm going to air down at least 10 to 20 pounds. And the reason being is this road is really rough. Some of the rocks here are just brutal. They don't look really that bad, but if you hit them at any kind of speed, you can get a flat tire, and that's the last thing we want out here. I do have the factory spare. I did not bring the full-size spare simply because I don't like to leave it in the back of the truck. I don't trust people, you know. Somebody comes along with a similar truck, like, hey, there's a free full-size spare, and they take it. So I just have the factory spare, which should be just fine to get us out of here if we need to. I've got a plug kit, I've got onboard air, so we should have everything we need. But yeah, let's go ahead and air down, and then we'll head out there and start the hike. Morning. So you know I'm Steve from Las Vegas. These are my adventures. So we're out here at the trailhead for Sawmill Springs Canyon, I think it is. I got almost 6:30 on the clock, and that's exactly when I wanted to be out here. So where we're going today is right out there. We've got about I don't know, 5-6 mile hike each way. It's a long ways, but where we're going is to find an old truck that is so far in the mountains. There is no possible way this truck could have been driven up there or driven out. So it would have to be up there for a long time, 50 or 100 years. Now, like I said, back in the day, there may have been some old ranchers out here. They may have been doing some logging, so that may be what the truck is left over from. It should be a cool artifact on the way. Like I said, some inside info. I haven't seen the truck, but I was up there 2 weeks ago, so I know there's going to be some artifacts and things we're going to see for sure. So I'll show you all that stuff. So also, just to mention, I do have another individual with me today. If in case you hear somebody talking, it's not some strange noise in the background, somebody helping out. So that's just what it is. And if you're ready, yeah, let's start the hike and head out there. Let's go. All right, it's a beautiful morning. It's a little bit chilly. I would guesstimate, I don't know, low 60s. So the weather's absolutely perfect for hiking. I just had a couple of breakfast tacos. I feel great. I've got lunch, our typical freeze-dried food. I think I've got beef stew today. Plenty of water. This gate here, if you've been on the Bird and Hike website, you'll see this gate. And this is basically the beginning to Sawmill Springs Canyon. And we basically just come through here and head straight up there. It's kind of a long, dull hike. And like I said, I did this a few weeks ago, looking for this old truck. Didn't see it, but I did see some artifacts. There's an old settlement. There's some car parts or vehicle parts, a lot of old cans and materials. And there's actually a crash, one of those artillery drones out there crashed out here, so you'll see that as well. So let's keep on going, head up in the canyon, and hopefully find this truck. I've got it marked on the map. We're supposed to be able to see if that's actually what it is. It's a beautiful morning here at the Desert National Wildlife Refuge. You might see some footprints here. It's not a common hike, but people do come out here. And some of these footprints are mine from 2 weeks ago. But you can see the terrain, this beautiful spring weather. There's a little bit of snow up on the mountains, and you may see that I'm a little bit winded, and that's fine. It's a higher elevation, and it's going to be very much an uphill incline the whole way out there. This if I remember correctly, it's 1,500 to 2,000 foot elevation gain, which is no joke. So it's tough going up, but coming back should be a breeze. There's some beautiful land out here, these rolling hills, but the truck we're looking for is up there in those mountains where you see the snow-capped peaks, probably about the level of where the highest hill is. So we're gonna go straight up there, and then we're going to kind of veer off right into a side valley, climb all the way to the top of this side valley, and somewhere up there hopefully is where we'll find this mysterious old derelict vehicle. Did Kenny Veach make it that far? I don't know, but anything's in the realm of possibility. He left his keys and cell phone at a mine, and the common theory is he kept on going, but the question is how far. I don't know if you hiked 40 miles in a day, but from the mine, this might be around 10 miles. That's definitely doable. We'll do 10 miles today, so I don't expect to see his initials inside this truck, but you never know, we may see something. So let's keep on going and we'll get to where we're going. All right, on the clock, 0.52 miles, not 52 miles, half a mile. And it's kind of a brisk hike. The ground is really kind of soft. You can almost feel your foot sinking a little bit in this kind of soft kind of soil here. And this right here is some sort of a ground insect, probably a wasp or something. And judging by the size of the hole, I don't know what kind of wasp, but I certainly don't want to get stung by it. So I'm not going to get too close. I'm going to leave him be. But we're making good progress. Like I said, this is the first half a mile. We've got quite a ways to go. And it's basically just straight up in those hills. So let's keep on going. All right, the sun is definitely coming up. You saw we started out, it was down, the moon was up. Well, the sun is chasing the moon away. On the clock, we got a mile, almost 500 foot elevation gain, so I'm a little winded. 148 feet speeds per minute, heart rate, 22 minutes. So 22-minute mile is, on flat ground, I could do about a 15-minute mile. But 22 is about right for this uneven terrain with a slight uphill incline. So we're gonna keep going. If I see anything interesting on the way, I'll show you. I'm not gonna ramble on, but we'll just keep our eyes out. There's a few spots I know of that I'm gonna stop and show you. There's like an old campsite up here. There's some rock cairns. And then just before we head up in this valley towards where the truck is, there's probably, it's like an old settlement or campsite where there's some old artifacts there. I'll show you that as well. So yeah, let's keep on going and get up there. The day is young, 10 minutes to 7, decent weather. So yeah, we're making good progress. All right, so you saw we're going up this uphill incline. Here we're going kind of down into through a draw and then back up. So we're making good progress. I remember this before. And I know you guys say I repeat myself, and I do because people forward through these videos. You see two shadows. I am with somebody today, a resident expert on the area out here, and one of the few people I've met so far that can actually physically keep up with the challenges of these hikes. So for this particular hike, like I said, I do have somebody else with me. So if you hear another voice or see a shadow, it's not phantom footsteps or a ghost, although I wouldn't rule that out. But it is a good friend of mine that is helping out on this hike. So that's what's going on. So we're gonna keep on going. We should be coming up on an old campsite settlement I'll show you up here. And then we'll keep on going past that to the trailhead where we need to go. All right, on the clock, about a mile, 0.35, 556 foot elevation gain. You can see right here, obviously, some footprints, but this right here, if you look at the soil, how this soft, disturbed soil is, this was a mud pit. This was a place where water was collecting. And what this can tell you about water collecting here is this is not in the lowlands where it gets super hot. So it's a little cooler up here, so water isn't going to evaporate as quickly. So this spot was, water was here for a while enough to soak in and cause this kind of rippling in the soil. So obviously you could see trees, things you didn't see in the desert. So we're getting to some of the higher elevations. It's only 500 feet. We've got a good 1,000 foot or so elevation gain to go. But we're making good progress, keeping our eyes and ears open for mountain lions and the animals. They are out here. I've been told that people have seen them on game cams. I personally haven't seen any. I hope I don't see any. And if you do, they're generally going to run away from you. But on the extremely rare occurrence that we do encounter one that for some reason might do us harm, that's one of the reasons we carry a firearm. It's, you know, like I said, just a piece of our gear that we have, like a first aid kit or anything else. And with that being said, let's just keep going. I think that campsite I'm going to show you is right up there by those rocks. And we'll go up there and see if it's there, and I'll show you. It's just some place where some people camp that's really, really old. Let's keep going. Yeah, so right here by these rocks, clearly somebody camped here a long time ago. You could see a little bit of evidence of burnt wood. They built a campfire here, and just long ago somebody camped here right in the middle of the road, and looks like a good spot for it. But judging by this overgrowth, it's been a very long time since they were here. So we'll keep on going, and like I said, just a little old campsite where people were. And we're heading up here, and this should be, let's see, 1.41 miles. We're well past the halfway point, I believe, to the turnoff where we need to go up into the mountain. So let's keep on going. Well, we're definitely getting up there. Another 100 feet since the last time we checked. You can see a lot more wooded area here, like I said, and I'm getting a little winded because this is all uphill, as you can see. But the good thing is, after hiking 5 or 6 miles, it's all downhill going back, so that's gonna really be helpful when we head back. Let's keep on going. Just keep your eyes open for anything interesting. Here's some animal droppings. No, folks, those aren't powdered sugar donuts. That's coyote or mountain lion, probably coyote, because I believe cats bury their waste. So coyotes are out here, they're the least of my worries. But like I said, just to show you that animals are out here, even if you don't see them. One thing about springtime in the desert, even these higher elevations, is you get these beautiful blooms. Now these will be gone in a few months when the weather gets hot, but they're certainly very beautiful. You don't see a lot of cactuses up here, you see a lot of pine trees, because these are higher elevations up in the sheep range. And where we're going today is some of the most highest elevation, the most remote areas. So I think the sheep range goes up to 9,000 feet. We'll be about the 7,500, 8,000 foot level. And you'll see fauna and flora like you don't see down in the lowland valley where we started out. So it's a little bit different terrain. You start in the desert, you're gonna end up in the forest up here, you'll see. But we'll keep on going and see what else we can find. Purple flowers here, just kind of cool looking. When I hear look at flowers, I just want to show you that the desert out here near Las Vegas it's a very different place in the springtime when the blooms come out. So it's really kind of cool seeing the plant life. But just looking around, there's, like I said, there's some cactuses back there, but they'll start to get less and less. There's a cactus over here. In a pinch, you can extract water from some of these. But fortunately, I've got enough water, so that shouldn't be necessary. But yeah, bigger trees than you see in the desert. But let's keep going. We're not here to look at the I'm not here to look at plants. We're here to find this old truck and see what condition it's in. Let's keep on going. All right, so this isn't really a rock cairn per se, but somebody clearly stacked a rock here. It didn't stack itself. So things like this, you see, this is evidence that somebody's been here. There are some rock cairns we're going to see. I believe there's a pretty good sized one up here that we'll run into. And I'll show you, people leave these rock cairns, not rock cairn, but rock cairn. And they leave these as markers, trail markers, whatever. And I'll show you once we come to them. But just kind of look out for things. You know, some people say the Sasquatches stack rocks, and I don't know, maybe they do, but it's well documented fact that people, hikers and whatnot, stack these rock cairns as markers to know where trails are, which way to go, and you'll see up here how useful they can be. All right, so this trail we were on, this is the point where the terrain changed a little bit. It looks like a river, right? No, it's not a river. It's it might have been an ancient road at one time or the path, but you can see how water's been flowing here. You can see some debris, some pine cones, where there's a huge rush of water here. This isn't a river per se, but as they talk about flash floods, this is all from a flash flood. And the Las Vegas Valley had a lot of rains recently, so this area we're walking in used to be, well, enough water washed down here to make it a raging river. So this is a path we're going to be on for a little bit till we turn off and start heading deeper in the mountains. But I just want to show you that, you know, like I said, this isn't a road. It's kind of a wash. Let's keep on going. So just try to keep our eyes open. So there's like a whole piece of leather or something here. Just evidence of civilization. The thing about the water, this rushing water, so it washes debris down. So you get this old can here. Like I said before in some of the old videos, back in the days, everything came in a can. This obviously juice can. Not sure how they opened it. Oh, there it is. So yeah, it looks like maybe somebody stabbed it with a knife a couple of times to get it open. Probably juice or something inside here. And that's it. We are going to see more artifacts like this. Like I said, the truck, I didn't find it last time I was here, but there's enough old debris and artifacts that would lead me to believe that something like that is up here. Now, I know it's trash. Some of you said, why don't you pick up trash? I think I made it clear in the last video, we encountered so much trash that I'm not going to walk out of here with a garbage bag over my shoulder. And you know, littering bothers me as much as anybody else, but it's just not practical to carry out every piece of trash you come across. But I'll tell you what, I'm not going to leave it out here. I'm not gonna leave my own trash out here. I clean up after myself. I just wish everybody else would. Here's something in the tree, a can. Someone's eating a can and tossing the tree maybe. Like LEB in Australia calls them tossers. We don't call them tossers over here in America. We call them litter bugs, but it's pretty much the same thing. All right, so the side trail we're going on is off the main trail, and at first I thought it was this, but this is just too rugged to climb up. And you got to be careful when you see a lot of brush like this, these heavily wooded areas, because take a look, this cactus is like hypodermic needles sticking out, and you don't watch where you're going. You step on one of those, you're in a world of hurt. And you don't want to be a world of hurt 5 miles from a trailhead that's 5-mile drive from a road that's 20-mile drive to near a gas station civilization. So that's why you just got to be extra careful out here. But if you hear the wind whipping through the trees, I'll tell you what, 7:30 in the morning, 2.15 miles on the clock, 800-foot elevation gain, and there's not a soul out here. Not a soul. So it's really nice to come out here, just enjoy the peacefulness after a week of sitting in traffic or dealing with people. You come out here and you're alone. I mean, your body can stretch out and relax. Your mind can just open up out here, and it's a feeling that most people just don't get to experience. But trust me, this is my motivation for coming up here. Just the peacefulness, it really recharges you. Let's keep on going. So here's another paint can or something that it kind of washed down. Just a piece of trash or debris. And like I said, this you can see water was rushing down here, and you're gonna see trash and debris that's been washed down here by this raging river when it rains. And if this was a place where there's a lot of gold, which, you know, that's always a possibility, a lot of miners, prospectors would come up here and they find their nuggets here, they would start panning. And that's what they would do. I was told by some of the mining experts is they would pan certain areas of washes like this, find gold, and just keep going all the way up the hill until they get to where it's coming from, and that's where they know where to dig. Interesting things. And that comes from people commenting about this increase in mining level knowledge. Just some more trash right here. One of these looks like an aluminum can, so that might be more modern. I don't know about that rusty one, but yeah, that's not from back in the day. That's from a hiker who left their trash here. And can't speak for them, but I'm not going to be that guy. I carry my trash out, you know that. All right, so we're coming to our first obstacle. Some of you had said Sasquatches lay stuff like this in the middle of the path. For those who believe, maybe that's the case, I don't know, but you can see right here, this raging water, clearly this was a tree or a bush or shrub that was growing on the side right here, that as the water came, it eroded its foundation and just kind of fell over the path. Now we can climb this way, and it looks like there's some disturbed branches where people have climbed this way. I think the last time I was out here, I took the easy way, went up over here, and that's what we're gonna do today. Go either way. We'll climb up over there, we'll come around, nothing interesting in here, looking all around. Then we'll come back over here, and we will come right back down this way and continue our job, continue our hike. I saw some weird looking rocks here. It just looks like a table and chairs. Like somebody be sitting here, the chair and the table. Here's a table, a chair. All right, next in line, please. And you got a table right here. Now you're calling something next in line, next in line. But it's a cool place to take a break. And if this rock was a little closer, it'd be kind of a cool place to eat lunch, because this makes a really nice table here. And it's not that uncomfortable to sit on, but just a cool place to take a break. But we got a long ways to go. 2.4 miles, 931-foot elevation gain, 62 minutes, so damn near an hour on the trail. And we're almost to the point where we've got to turn off and leave the trail and go cross country up in these mountains to try to find that truck. We're making good time, so let's keep on going. So it may seem like nothing to a lot of people, but this right here, this piece of wood, broken piece of wood, this is obviously not natural. This is an old piece of wood from some sort of a structure, some sign of civilization. So that's the kind of thing you want to look for. Sign of civilization, sign that people have been here. Not hikers recently, but from back in the old days, because half the thrill of hiking isn't to come out and see the beauty, because it's beauty and beautiful, no doubt. Half the thrill of hiking, at least for me, is what cool stuff can I find. That's why when I heard about that there's an old derelict truck that was deep in the mountains, I thought, you know what, that'll make an awesome video. I gotta find this thing. And well, we got a pretty decent lead on where it is, so hopefully we can find it. But even if we don't, like I said, I know there's some there's some things along the way that's pretty interesting. So we'll keep on going. If I'm not mistaken, this kind of wash we're on is going to curve. It's going to curve kind of the right, and we've got to follow it up. But before we do, there's something I want to show you. Do you see it yet? Do you see what I see? Take a look at this. Here's a rock cairn right here. There's a rock cairn right there. They're both on each side of this ditch or this little draw, which means there's something in here. And indeed there is. We were here last week. This is that little settlement that I told you about. So let's come on in here. I'm gonna show you what's in here. All right, here's some cans, our first sign of debris. You're gonna see some debris in here. Over here, remember I said I didn't find the truck the last time, but there are things I found which are conducive to there being a truck out here. And here's one of the things. Are these from that old truck? That could be. Here's a body panel. They don't make them like that anymore, do they? A rim, back in the day where you could unlatch it without it, take the tire off without a machine. Maybe part of an old seat. Some more rusted cans. Aluminum doesn't really rust, so you don't see aluminum cans rust like these tin cans do. But yeah, there's a lot of material or debris there. Now over here, I saw this last time. Well, I don't know what this is. This is probably part of a truck. It could be part of the truck we're looking for. Looks like it may be part of the engine compartment. Could be part of an old vehicle. If you know what vehicle it's from, comment below. You'll get huge kudos. But something maybe, are those gauges that look like? Some sort of a can? I don't know. I'm not an expert on that. And it's just one part. But over here, I'm going to show you. Take a look at all these buried pieces of wood. Who would bury these pieces of wood and why? Nobody buried them. There was a cabin or something here. There was a settlement here under this mound that has probably been buried over by water rushing down over the years. So if you excavate this, you might find some interesting things. But I'm not going to excavate it today. That's not why we're here. Up over here, there's another can dump. Well, a piece of metal there. There's some cans here. Because back in the day, everything came in a can. You remember, like I said in the other videos. Another pile of cans over here. And looks like a trailer path there. May head down there and take a look. And over here's a campfire. Yeah, log campfire. So this campfire here is not that old. The people that were at this settlement did not build this campfire. And I can tell you because, well, the dirt is washed from recent rain, so maybe a few months old, but take a look at this, the burnt wood. This is obviously not that, it's somewhat recent, so somebody camped here, maybe set up a tent or whatever at a campfire. I'm not even sure campfires are permitted out here because of fire hazards this time of year. But at any rate, that's it. This is about it for the settlement. It's not a very big area, but clearly there was a some kind of a building here. It might have been an old logging camp. I've been told that logging was a thing back in the day, and this may be a logging truck up there. I don't know. My partner I'm with today, he has inside information on this truck, and we're both confident we can find it if it is up there. And like I said, that point on Google Earth or Bing Maps, I'm fairly certain that's the truck. But either way, I've got it mapped on Gaia. We're going to that point, and one way or another, we'll find that truck. But I told you there'd be some interesting things along the way. So we're just gonna come along through here and keep on going and follow this little wash. Now keep your eyes open for things I may have missed, because going up this wash, it washes a lot of debris downhill. So we'll encounter some pieces of trash. There's a few interesting pieces I'll show you along the way. But you can still hear the wind whipping through the trees. Elevation, we're did about 1,000-foot elevation gain so far. So we're up there, 6,500 feet, I guess. And we may have another 1,000 foot to go. Just some more cans. Every time I see cans, I try to look, and it looks over here like a path. I can't tell if it's an animal path or a people path, but you never know what you're finding. But anyway, I see old cans, I look closely, because where there's one, there's more. It may lead you to other things. So I thought it was a path in here. Looks like it's not, it's just a forest. But yeah, we're definitely not in the desert anymore. So I'm gonna head back towards that wash we were in, and we're gonna follow the wash all the way up the valley to where this old old truck is supposed to be. A little can here. Just kind of trying to go off the beaten path where people don't usually go and see if there's anything in there that that others may have missed. Another can right there. Just kind of going cross country here. Another can. And yeah, you never know what cool artifact you're going to come across. So let's keep on going. And if I'm not mistaken, another mile or two to get where we're going. We're making back in the wash. Cute little rock here and here. Somebody left, so somebody's been coming up this way. But yeah, like I said, if I see anything interesting, I'll film it. But I'm not going to walk and just ramble on for nothing. It's getting cooler up here. Actually, it's cooler than it was 2 weeks ago. I knew it'd be cool this week. If I wasn't constantly moving and sweating a little bit, I'd probably be cold. It might be appropriate to wear a jacket, but because I'm moving, I'm fine. And you know, if an emergency happens or so, I do have an emergency survival blanket in here I can put on or use as insulation or layering if I needed to. We'll be fine. Just keep on going. The rest of the way, I believe, is more or less like this. Well, it's going to be like this for a while, then we're going to have to cut off cross country. But that's not for a little bit, so we'll keep on going. Now, keeping our eyes open, take a look at this tree. This tree's been cut. See one side and then the other? This is old school cut, not a chainsaw, but like the two-person back in the 1940s videos. It's saw. Somebody cut this tree down. Logging, cabin building. There's a tree off there that's been cut too. So yeah, this one's been cut. There's a lot of old trees been cut, and clearly this happened a very long time ago. Another interesting thing about this area too, take a look around. Take a look at some of these trees, how big they are and how green they are. A lot of forested areas in the west, because of extreme drought, have been burned. There's no evidence of fire out here, which is absolutely fantastic because that's a better chance of finding artifacts and stuff. So there may have been small fires, but these big trees, a lot of times out in the western United States, unfortunately, fire consumes a lot of these areas. But this is an area that it hasn't, and you know, things like this that somebody cut back in the day, it's just further evidence that people have been out here. Yeah, so more evidence of flowing water through these trees. This was a raging river back during all the rains a few weeks ago or months ago, and you can see kind of the water's path. So you never know, the water may unearth something that was buried long and buried out here. So keep your eyes open. Like trash right there, you never know what you're going to come across. All right, on the clock, 3.41 miles, 1,200 foot elevation gain, making great time. Only 8 o'clock in the morning. It's a chilly, breezy morning here up in the mountains. The trees are shielding us from the wind. It does feel good. My back's sweating. Like I said, if I stopped, I'd be getting cold, but I'm not stopping. Now, I do see a piece of trash here. Instalight. Some type of fuel, I'm guessing. Probably more modern than they had 100 years ago. I don't think they had propane fuel 100 years ago, but it's still an old rusted can that you see. And this stuff gets washed down, like I said, from things like this. So that's why walking in a wash like this, we'll keep our eyes open, see if there's anything interesting we'll come across on. We'll come across trash, but I will say this. If trash is being washed down here from up in the hills up there, that is something leading me to believe there's civilization up there, and that hopefully is around the area we'll find this truck. Let's keep going. All right, so let's keep a track on the clock. 3.86 miles, so down here 4 miles. I feel great. 8:21 in the morning, we've got a really early start. Slightly overcast today. I'm guessing, I don't know, low 60s with a wind chill, maybe high 50s. Perfect weather for hiking. 1,400 foot elevation gain at this almost 2 hours. We're looking for any signs of civilization and anything through the trees. And you can see right now, that truck could be in front of us. We wouldn't even see it. But I've got it marked on the map where it's supposed to be, and we've got a little ways to go. But take a look over here. Clearly somebody cut down this tree. And clearly somebody put a rock on top of it, maybe some sort of a marker. And then if you look around over here, you can see here's some wood, a piece of wood, not a branch, but actually cut wood, maybe some nail holes in it. It's been washed down here, this wash that we're hiking across. Just up here a little bit, we're gonna have to start heading cross country. It might be into this valley over there. And I think it's way up in that valley, a good mile or so, where this truck is supposed to be. It's off any known path or anything, so this thing has been out there a long time. It's been a long time since people were out here logging. This looks like another tree that's been cut down. The tree's long dead. You can see the roots exposed and everything, but so many people have been out here logging
maybe cutting out wood for cabin, and so much out here is unmarked, so you really just never know what you're going to find until you come across it. That's why you got to keep your eyes open. And when I'm hiking, I'm watching where I'm going. So like I said, my feet on the ground, watching where I'm stepping. I hold the camera up like this, and hopefully you, the viewer, you're my hiking partner too, so keep your eyes open. If you see something I don't, comment below. I'm looking at this rock over here, looking like a building foundation. I don't think it is. No, but just see right here, they kind of look like some bricks from a distance, but it's not, just some rocks. But yeah, that's what you gotta do. You gotta kind of come off the beaten path a little bit, look for anything interesting out here. Seeing all these pine cones, these pine forests. Definitely a different environment than the desert we're used to, but we'll keep on going and try to find this cool truck and see what kind of condition it is. I don't think we're gonna drive it out of here though. Let's keep on going. So this is the fun part. This is where we go off-road, and we're not following that little wash anymore. We're following some kind of semblance of paths and whatnot, but where we're going is pretty much in this direction, and I'm going to keep my eyes on this direction. But yeah, that's where we're going, and you can see right here, it almost looks like there may have been an ancient road through here at one point in time, and there could have been, but yeah, it looks like there could have been an old ancient road up here, but there's not any defined path anymore. And the good thing is, people may not have been out here, so if we're the only ones that ever see this truck, that's great. Let's keep on going and watch our step, because it's really easy to lose our balance and trip like that, so you got to really keep your eyes open where you're stepping, which is why I hold the camera out like this to see everything. You keep my eyes down here where I'm walking. Let's keep going. On the clock, we just hit the 4-mile mark. That basically means this is minimum 8-mile day, minimum. But like I said, we've been here before, and I know we're looking at a 10, 11, maybe even 12-mile day, depending on where we go. Over here in this log, there's a rock. And I put in a rock simply because rocks don't put themselves on logs, and animals don't put rocks on logs. People do, as a marker. So somebody's been through here. Question is when, and who, and did they see the truck? Because I'll tell you what, this old truck we're looking for, there is like no reference to it on the internet. But if I find it, there sure will be. Will I give up the exact location? Probably not. Simply because you give up a location to something like this, everybody hikes to it. Well, let me use this as an example. If you ever watched the movie Into the Wild, if you like these videos, you'll like Into the Wild. Go watch Into the Wild. It's a great story of a young man who went to college, had plenty of money and a future ahead of him, but decided that the most important thing in life wasn't money, was finding yourself in the woods. And he made it to Alaska, hiked out there and died. But where he took a refuge was an old bus up in Denali National Park. And this old bus that hunters used was kind of an iconic location, and many people made the pilgrimage out there, and so many people have been stranded and trapped at this old bus, and resulting in rescues that the Army Corps of Engineers came in with a Chinook helicopter, sling loaded this bus and took the bus out of there, because so many people trying to make a pilgrimage to this bus. I wanted to go to this bus, but because the people going out there getting themselves in a tough situation, the government sling loaded it out of there, and it's no longer there. So, you know, you never know. This truck could be like that too. So to preserve these places, if you really want to know where the truck is, if it's your dying interest to know where the truck is, message me, and if you're up for it, I might take you out here. Who knows? Otherwise, enjoy the video, enjoy the pictures, but I generally try not to give away locations, just to make sure that they can be enjoyed for future generations. Let's keep on going. Now back there I said that these trees are intact. There's no evidence of forest fires, but take a look here. Here's some burned trees. Look at this one right here. I could probably push this over. Some people would, I'm not going to. I don't disturb things I don't need to disturb, but some of these trees are burned. This could have been a fire started by lightning strikes, but just this immediate area is where these burned trees are. I don't see any other burned trees, so it's these trees may have caught fire, was contained here, and maybe it's during a rainstorm where the fire got extinguished and didn't cause a forest fire, which is a good thing, because these high mountain forests are definitely a thing of beauty. So for elevation wise, we're about 7,200 foot level. We've only got a few hundred feet higher to go until we're about our maximum elevation. But I can tell you this, where we are is within the most remote highest elevations of the sheep range. This is a place where people rarely ever go. And if Kenny Veach wanted to go someplace and really get away from people, this is it. Like I said, absolutely no evidence to say he was out here, but it's the sheep range. He disappeared in the sheep range. You never know what you're gonna find, so keep your eyes open. We'll see if there's anything interesting along the way, and hopefully we can find this old derelict truck. So we're definitely off the road. This kind of wash we're going in could have been an ancient road. Could also have been an old ancient wash, but the wind in the trees, the solitude is really beautiful up here. This is the peacefulness that I remember last time I was here, where you could feel there's not another human being around. Granted, like I said, my buddy's out here, but he's passionate about this area like I am, and you know, like I said, and other than me and him, there's nobody out here, and it's just it's a peaceful feeling of solitude. Now, what I'm looking for, last time I was here, I saw something shiny up on this hillside, and I want to show you what it is. So if I can find it again, the pin I dropped shows it's right over here somewhere. So we're going to climb up this hill, carefully, of course, and somewhere around here. Is that it over? Yeah, that's it right there. Is a shiny object that's part of an aircraft crash. And if you watch Junebug 3, you'll know what aircraft this is. Take a look at this. Telltale sign of wood, thin metal, a honeycomb pattern, a very, very old piece of material, wood, honeycomb. Yeah, this is the aerial target drone. This is one of the most remote parts of the sheep range, high elevations, and years ago, this is part of a target that was towed behind an aircraft, usually towed 2,000 feet away, and shot down by another aircraft way up in the sky somewhere, and it crashed through the trees and landed here. But this is it. Now, last time I was here, I looked around, I didn't see anything. I didn't see any other wreckage, so I don't know what happened to it, but this is the biggest piece I've seen, and I've been told there are many of these out here. Many of these TDU, I think 10, 1, whatever they are, target drones, aerial targets that they're shot down, and they're nothing more than wood and cheap metal. Its whole purpose in life is to be shot down. But yeah, that's it. So kind of a fluke. We came across it. I saw the shine. Been any signs of civilization? The point for the truck is supposed to be just a little further. So so far on the clock, 4 miles, 4.39 miles, 2 hours 15 minutes. Sorry if I'm speaking unclearly. I just hiked 4.5 miles uphill, so I'm a little winded, and that's about it. So yeah, let's keep on heading up there. The other point we're going to, where the truck maybe, is just up ahead. Coming across some more down logs, some burned logs over here. The thing that's really unusual is because this is a forest. Usually when you see one burned log, you're going to see evidence of a forest fire, and I'm just not seeing that, unless this is some ancient stuff. But yeah, little burns here and there, but for the most part, these trees, these big trees, this is old growth pine trees. So yeah, it's no big forest fire in here from what I can see. Let's keep on going, follow this wash all the way up. All right, 7,400 foot level. You can see the points I've mapped out. We're close to this old truck. We're damn close. And we'll keep on going, and we're almost there. Like I said, a peacefulness here, and it's just kind of weird to see burned wood like this, where this was obviously on fire. Can't really tell how long ago, but the whole forest didn't burn down. And we don't do a whole lot of forest hiking, so a lot of the terrain is stuff we're not used to in the desert, so it's kind of interesting. But up here, you know, like I said, it's beautiful, it's great being outdoors, but I'm just trying to find any evidence of old ancient civilization up here. And that truck is a point that's where we just came from. Not too much further up here, so let's keep going. There's no guarantee we'll find this truck. That object I saw on Bing Maps satellite should be right up around this bend. So if that was the truck, we're damn close. All right up here somewhere. I don't see anything. Nothing. Let me check the GPS. For all those of you who looked at that picture that I posted of what appeared to be a vehicle on satellite, we are standing at that exact spot. Now, you know from experience like I do, guided GPS is not an exact science, but right out here is the exact spot on Gaia, or not in Gaia, but on Bing Maps, where I saw what appeared to be a vehicle, and it looked like a vehicle. It's not the first time satellite resolution imagery has tricked us, but this spot where I'm standing looked like a vehicle here, and I don't not see a vehicle. I don't see a truck. It could be up there. Hike up a little more and try to find it. Did I hike up here for nothing? Are we skunked? We've got one last ace in the hole, and it's not guaranteed. My buddy came up here, is the one who saw the truck, and he's here to help me find it. We've got ham radios in case we need to split up, but he's the one that saw the truck, so he's the authority as to where this thing might be. He said it's an older truck from the 40s or 50s. It's got like a boom on it, so it might have been a logging truck, and he definitely said it's out here for sure. He said he's seen it, and it's definitely in this area, but it could be up a side canyon somewhere. So we're gonna check some of these side canyons. Well, looking around, like I said, this is the exact spot where that truck is supposed to be on satellite, and I don't see it. Was it fallen logs that we saw? I don't know, it could have been. I mean, look at some of these logs. They could be in the shape of a truck or make it look like a vehicle. But yeah, we ate lunch right over there on one of these fallen logs, so I didn't think we missed it. But this heavily wooded area could be in there somewhere. And like I said, this guy said he's seen it before. It's what he does, he comes out here on some of these long range hikes, and he said he saw it, and this is the canyon. It could be a side canyon too. But if we don't see it here doing our extensive search, we're going to split up a little bit, communicate via radio, and check around here. But he said it's definitely in this general vicinity. So I can tell you right now, the satellite picture, it looked promising. It looked like a freaking truck, but it wasn't, clearly, because it was right here somewhere is where I saw it. But you can see now it's not. So I'm gonna do right now, damn near 5 miles to get here from the trailhead. From the road, it's even longer. 2.5 hours, 1750 foot elevation gain. It was a pretty big hike, but the wind's blowing, it's breezy, it's cool. Like I said, it would be cold if I was sitting still. I'm sweating a little bit, so that's keeping me warm and whatnot. But right around here somewhere is where this guy saw the truck. So we're gonna keep looking and hopefully find it. But I'm not gonna say I don't believe him, because he is a individual who is, I determine to be credible. And based on what he does in these mountains, I would say that he's probably an authority. And at any rate, the debris I've seen, the auto parts back there at that settlement, are all conducive to there being a vehicle in the area. So I'm not doubting that there is somewhere. It's just finding it. But it's been here a very long time. There's trees growing through it, I've been told. So it could be anywhere. So let's shut off the GoPro, quick jibber jabber, and keep walking and see if we can find this damn thing. So far, no truck. We just checked the GPS. Coming a little further north up here, trying to find out where this thing was. It just goes to show you how easy it is not only to get lost, but to lose things that you may have seen out here, which definitely corroborates Kenny's story of not being able to find the MCave. I mean, you see something out here one time and then you come back and you can't find it again. So we'll keep looking, hopefully find it. Trying to watch my step over some of these trees and also make sure there's no rattlesnakes around. It's cold out here, but the sun's coming out, so sun's out, snakes out. Just looking around to see if there's anything that looks like this old truck. And like I said, my buddy came out here. He's seen it before, but you know, this terrain, you see, it all looks alike after a while. So it is, unless you drop a satellite pin, it's almost impossible to find the same thing again. So definitely in this canyon area, and we're 7,500 foot level. So this is among the most remote, highest point of the sheep range. And it'll just be really interesting to see this truck if we can find it. If not, it's just going to be a fable or tall tale until then, but we're going to keep looking. Now, a lot of this area you see here, these washes, things like this, they weren't washes back in the day. There may very well have been an old logging road here that when you stop using something like an old logging road, Mother Nature takes it back, and that's exactly what happened out here. So like right here, it almost looked like there could have been a road here. Maybe trees fell over it in the past, 50 years, but there could have been a road through here at one point in time. You never know. So we're gonna keep on hiking and try to find this thing. That's what we're here for. Just quick check of the GPS, 7,600 feet, heading in uncharted territory. This is about the most furthest point we checked the last time we were out here 2 weeks ago. But I'm gonna keep going. My buddy's up there, he's got radio, so in case we get separated, we'll be able to communicate with each other. But we'll keep on going and try to find this thing. It's really tough because you look now and it's like, yeah, there's no way to get a truck up here, but 50, 100 years ago, maybe, before Mother Nature and all this water cut a path through here. Definitely some of the highest points of the sheep range. But Mount Charleston is up to 10,000 feet, 10, 11,000 feet, so much higher elevation, you get winded a lot easier. This is just 7,500 where we're at now. All right, 5 miles on the clock. That guarantees us a 10-mile day. I feel fine right now. I do. A little bit better than I did before last time, and well, this time I did have 3 breakfast tacos before I came out here, which were pretty tasty. So all that food weighed me down, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad I came out on a full stomach, because it really exerts a lot of energy coming up here. And even if you're not sweating, it's important to drink a lot of water, because you can dehydrate out here. You start getting a heat injury or dizzy or need medical aid, ladies and gentlemen, help is not coming out here. You're gonna die. You will get stuck out here. Nobody will be out here. Nobody. Like I said, for this particular hike, I am with somebody, but generally you come out by yourself, something happens, you are 100% on your own. Let's keep on going. Oh, just looking around here. So yeah, this could have been an ancient road with these brush growing up. It's a very old truck. So we're just coming up here, look at some of these little side draws, see if it's around here. But they said it's definitely out here, so we're keeping our eyes peeled and hiking this terrain. With the higher elevation, you get wind a little bit easier. Just trying to navigate over this brush. So yeah, let's keep on going, heading uphill, and see if we can run into this thing. If not, we'll backtrack. There's a wooded area towards that we skipped heading back down that it could be in as well. So me and my buddy may split up, and he goes one way, I go the other, and try and find this thing going back and just go through the whole canyon. But he said definitely in this canyon somewhere, so we'll keep looking. All right, so we climbed to the top of this ridge, and there was nothing up there. So what we're doing now is we're coming back down, and you're gonna come back down through this kind of clearing area and try and slowly see if this truck is somewhere in the woods. I've been told it's about, I don't know what year it is. It's about the size of a pickup, maybe a little bit bigger, and it's got some sort of a boom in the back, maybe a crane, something used for logging. I don't know. There is evidence of cut trees down further down. There is not around here. So once we get further down there, where we see all those cut trees, that's kind of where I would expect this this truck to be. So like I said, me and my buddy, we're going to split up. He's going to take the radio, or one of the radios, and we're going to search a little bit better down there and hopefully run into it. Let's keep going. All right, now you've seen on these desert hikes, we find a lot of bones in the desert because they deteriorate in the sun. The sun's a great preservative. But take a look at this. Here's a bone, This is not old. There is still meat on this bone. This is not bleached by the sun. Look at this right here. Rib cage, or not a rib cage, but a spine and a pelvis. Not a human pelvis, looks like. There's more bones over here. And I think at this point it's very obvious that this is a deer, because look at those hooves. Yeah, there's a deer leg. So something took this deer down. It's pretty tough for maybe a pack of coyotes to take a deer down. There's only one predator out here that would take a deer this big down, and that's mountain lion. And yes, there are mountain lions out here. Generally, they avoid you like a plague. There could be one up on the hill and they see you, they're gonna run the other way. Like a stray cat, they're gonna go scared. But if you do find one that stands its ground, like I said, that's one of the reasons we carry a firearm. It's unlikely we'll use it, and but just in case, it's better to have it, not needed than need to not have it. But yeah, that right there is a deer that's been killed by a predator, and it's really fresh because you can still see some skin and fur on the bones. So let's keep going, but keep our eyes open. All right, so looking around here, see if there's anything else. Might be a leg over there. Here is the skull. This one has been bleached because it's been sitting in a sunny spot. So what do you think, deer? You could see some teeth. There's the eye sockets. But yeah, there's the skull. And there's a leg over here too. So clearly this is part of a deer. The leg you could see is under this kind of tree, so it's not going to be in the direct sun. It's going to preserve a little bit more, but the skull was sitting right here in the sun, and that's probably how it got bleached. And for those of you thinking, no, I'm not going to take it with me, what do I need with an old bone skull? Put it over my garage? No, I don't need junk around the house. Here's the jaw. Here's the jaw. Let's, don't want to drop the phone there. Let's rebuild the skull and put it back together and see what it would look like. He's got a little bit of an overbite, but yeah, there he is, Mr. Deer. Now it's interesting to note that see the front of the skull is missing and crushed. A lot of times that's where the mountain lion goes for. And the mountain lion goes for the front of the skull and crushes it so they can't breathe, and that's how they take him down. They just kind of bite right here. So it's pretty clear this is more than likely a mountain lion. Probably a fairly large one. Now, this isn't a huge deer, but still it's a deer that was taken down by a predator. So we don't want to end up like this. We'll keep our eyes open, but it's just kind of an interesting thing to note. All right, so this, I don't think it was taken down by a predator, and I'm not going to touch it, but it's a dead bird, probably a blue jay. Less than a week old, I would guess. And it's hard to say what killed it. Could have been disease or natural causes. But you don't see animals like this very long because insects and other you know, creatures usually feed off of them. So it's kind of rare to see an intact animal like that out here. So a couple of days, couple hours, hard to say. But that's the kind of thing you see in the forest. In the sun, these animal bones, animals like that get bleached pretty easily and kind of rot and then get dried really easily. But in the forest, especially higher elevation, moisture is preserved, so they don't really decompose as fast as they do in the desert. So we're just kind of meandering back down the mountain here and trying to search flat areas like this. What I've been told, the truck's not on the hillside. It's kind of a flat area like this, and it's easy to come out here and see something one time and not see it a second time. So, you know, based on what I've seen so far, that encampment down there, all the debris from people, the cut trees, all this evidence points to there could be a truck out here. So that's why I believe this guy's stories, and he's a credible source of information from what I've seen. All of his stories and whatnot, check out. So I have no doubt that he's telling the truth. He saw the truck, but he's been here once, and you all know that you go through someplace once and you may not see the same thing again. So or it's hard to find. So like I said, we're meandering down, we're looking through some of these flat areas, and honestly, the further down we get towards where those cut trees were, that's where we're suspecting in that area the truck may be. This is where he gave me the pin where he thought it was, but again, he's walked through here once when he saw the truck. Didn't think to put a pin down because he was out here for other reasons, and I just kept on going. But you know me, I've learned from experience. I'll drop a pin for anything just so I can find it again, and it's been helpful, and that's what I continue to do. So we'll keep on going, and hopefully we can find it. I'm just looking to try to see anything through the trees or bushes that's interesting. Thought I saw like a wood pile over there. It's not. It's a rock pile. But yeah, anything interesting through the bushes here, through these pines. And I don't see anything yet. But in the state of Nevada, in these woods, there's a lot of history in these Sheep Mountains. So it's not outside the realm of possibility to see an old cabin or something, a mine that somehow is not documented, full of artifacts. So that's why we're just gonna keep walking and try to find this truck and anything else we can find. And hopefully not that mountain lion that took the deer down evidently. So on the clock so far, we've got 6 miles, 1,900 foot elevation gain. Our heart rate's a comfortable 111 beats per minute in 3 hours and 34 minutes. So it's a good thing we got an early start today. So we're gonna keep, like I say, meandering our way back. I wanted to get to that point that I thought was a vehicle on Google Earth, turned out to be nothing. And see if we can find this vehicle. Watching where I step right here, because these can be very, snakes can be in there. So yeah, let's keep on going. As you notice, it's all downhill because we're trying to head back, and we're hoping to run into this truck on the way back. But these trees are offering us some shade. It's cool and breezy here. Absolutely ideal weather for hiking. Out there is ideal for finding a rattlesnake, so I'm going to watch where I step. And we're just kind of meandering along, stepping over pine cones, because this is a pine forest out here, pine trees. Looking around, and you know, if anything, if we don't find the truck, you know, we'll have a good 10 miles on our belt for our outage today. Kind of interesting piece of wood all by itself. It'll be a minimum 10-mile hike today, and so far 6 miles. Honestly, I feel absolutely fine. I'm not even tired, not even hungry, but I did have a big meal before I came out. You know, it's not a fruitless hike. We found a few interesting things, but we're going to keep going and hopefully find this old truck. And like I said, if we don't, everything, well, you don't hit the jackpot every time you go to a casino. You don't catch fish every time you go fishing. You just have to get lucky, and that's half of the thrill of finding something. So that's why we keep coming out. But I can assure you, this guy I'm with, my friend, he's a good source of information, and I have no doubt that he did see a truck out here. So it's just a matter of finding it. So it's the forest, but still Nevada. So you still see cactuses and things like this, and you see how sharp these are. This would put you in a world of hurt if you were to fall on this by accident. So that's why you really want to watch your step out here. I don't have steel shank boots, but I am watching where I step to make sure I don't step on any sharp objects. The worst thing is sharp rocks. The soles in these Solomon boots are soft, and they get a great grip on the rocks, but they're not so soft where you can't walk on rocks or things like that, and they do give you great support. So, like I said, just slowly meandering our way out, carefully looking at everything, trying to see if this truck's out here. My buddy, he went further along to try and find it as well, and hopefully between the two of us, we can find this. Just to show you quick, I don't know if you can see, probably hard to see with the GoPro, but this tree stump is full of ants, and I set the stuff down here and ants started crawling all over it. So a lot of them have gone back inside the stump, but once I set my items here, they were crawling all over it, which goes to show you, it looks like it'd be a great seat, but don't sit here. You will get ants in your pants, that's for sure. You just gotta watch where you sit, because critters sometimes make their homes in places like this. Let's keep on going, and hopefully we'll run into it. This area here could be it, I don't know. We'll just keep searching. Nothing worth finding is ever going to be easy to find, and if it's going to be something that's undisturbed, something that other people haven't seen, it's going to be way out here and somewhat hidden. All right, we're coming down here. I can't see anything, and you know they say sometimes you can't see the forest of the trees, so it looks like a vantage point right here. Maybe somebody's been climbing this in the past, so I'm gonna try to climb this. It's not that big of a hill. It's a mini beast, so let's go ahead and climb this mini beast and see if we can get to the top and see if there's anything better up there, a better vantage point. Just carefully watching where I step, maintaining it. Try to maintain 3 points of contact. Almost up. Yeah, this isn't that big a deal. But, you know me, I don't underestimate these climbs. Sometimes they can be difficult. Carefully lifting ourselves up here. And, treetops. That's what I can see. Oh man. Well, still can't do the forest of the trees. Maybe a little higher. You think? Let's go. Yeah. Nothing. Nothing. One thing for sure, you're not going to see a truck up here, and you're not going to see a truck from up here. So I'm going to head back down into the valley and keep going down there because that's where I think it would be. It wouldn't be up here. Well, like I said, the truck's not going to be up there on the side of a hill, and I couldn't really get a good view. I mean, you could see you could see the other hills out here, but if there's a truck, it's going to be down there. So I'm going to carefully make my way back down to the lowlands and continue searching, but I may go off a little bit different directions than we first came up. It's probably too cold for rattlesnakes, but with spring and the sun out, you never know. We may run across one. So I'm just trying to keep my eyes and ears open and not slip, of course. And hopefully we won't come into something like that. Now this hill is nothing but a thing. We do hills, you know that. So we're coming here, trying to lose our balance. Do I want to go over the log or do I want to go over the brush? I'm gonna go over the brush, just simply because I don't want to step over the log and then step in a snake or something. So we're gonna crunch the brush, come over here, and yeah, like that, we're back down at the bottom. Remember I told you before, you get careless that last couple steps, and that's where you have most of the accidents. I almost slipped. All right, let's follow this around kind of the side of this hill. And I think there's a big kind of a clearing wooded area out there. We'll search that wooded area for the truck and see if it's between here and that settlement. It's got to be between here and that settlement. So let's go. Making it through some of this heavy brush. I say lowlands, we're still at the 7,000 plus foot level. More spring balloons coming out. Even on the hottest days in Las Vegas, these mountains stay somewhat cool. So we're kind of meandering through the trees at what is either a drainage ditch or more than likely an animal path. You know, something that deer or coyote, whatever it is, travels on a regular basis. And just kind of walking through here. Keep in mind, if this truck is 50, 100 years old, a lot of these bushes are going to be grown up around it. So it could be in the middle of a wooded area like this. You just never know. But these mountains are so full of history that you never know what you're going to come across, which is why we're just going to kind of slowly walk and see if we could see something interesting. All right, 6.5 miles on the clock, 2,000 foot elevation gain. Been hiking for about 4 hours. I got about 10:30. For those keeping track. See a bird off in the distance. Honestly, I don't see a lot of animals out here. Birds, you know, maybe a couple ground squirrels, not a lot of animals. And dead animals, that deer, I would say is probably within a few days, maybe a week. And more than likely was taken by a mountain lion. No, they're out here. I mean, I know for a fact mountain lions are out here. But they tend to stay away from people, so I'm not too worried. Just slowly, methodically searching, looking through this dense brush. So far, not seeing anything. Searching a wood area here, and I saw something shiny, so I'm gonna come over here and try and see what it is. I'm sure it's trash, but still, I want to see what this shiny thing is. Oh, yeah, this brush is rough. It's rough. Yeah, it looks like piece of a Mylar balloon, maybe. That's it. Keep going this direction out here. I'm literally just walking through the forest, trying to find this thing. I can smell the plant and bushes out here. It's kind of sort of an herbal smell, which is consistent with some of the things you'd see in the springtime. But other than that, I'm traipsing through the woods. And so far, I'm just not seeing anything. Now keep in mind, you could be searching for this too, and if somehow, by some chance, I miss it and you see it, by all means, comment down below. And I'm tracking this whole trip. If you see it before I do, let me know, and I can always take another trip out here. Another Mylar poly balloon, but no truck. Let's keep going. I know it looks like we're lost, and the big difference between the forest and desert is the desert, it's hard to get lost. You can see straight line distances way off. But the forest, it's easy to get lost. So I'm navigating. I could see we are going on a slight downhill incline, which I know we're supposed to be. We're between two hills in the same valley we're supposed to be. So even though you can't see where you're going, I more or less know which way we're going. And we've got GPS. I have a spare battery for the phone if necessary, and my counterpart on radio if necessary. So yeah, there's little chance of us getting lost out here. And of course I've got compass if necessary. There's just a lot of different terrain out here than what you're used to. And you're looking around, I mean, there could be a big truck right in front of us and you won't even see it. So that's how easy it is to miss things out here. Looking around, just like the desert, a lot of bones out here. So here's another bone, another small bone that you could see some sort of an animal. Now this one's been here a while. That one's bleached, maybe washed down the river or down this wash. So it's been here a while. But yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon to come across bones. Here's some more bones or a skull of something. Yeah, look at this. Some sort of large rodent. A lot of skulls out here. Mountain lion? Maybe. And you know the mountain lion usually tries to bite the nose. But this one here, it's hard to say. This is some other sort of a rodent, maybe, I don't want to guess raccoon or something, because one of you out there knows what this is, so I'm not going to guess. But it could have been a mountain lion got around the neck and ate it or something. A little bit of meat on the bone, so it's been here a while. But yeah, it's that's it. So let's keep on going. Clearly there's a lot of bones out here. You see what I just did? Not paying attention? That's how I lose stuff. I'm gonna come through this flat area over here. I'm gonna walk over the hillside over there because I see a little teeny tiny crevice I want to look inside. Sometimes small crevices like that open up into big caves. And that would be a pretty cool find to find a cave out here. But this looks like a dirt hillside, and I would expect to see a cave and a rock hillside. But I'm still gonna walk up here and check. Yeah, nothing really in there. Goes in about a foot. You could probably dig it out into a shelter if you had to in a snap. Nothing. And let's keep on going. Oh, it could be anywhere. I've always said that my videos may not be interesting. We may not always find what we're looking for, but they will always be real. And that's exactly what's going on here. You're seeing this as I am doing it. Of course, it's not live; it's all pre-recorded. But this is the hike. This is our search, and this is exactly as I would be doing things if you were standing right next to me, searching for this thing. So our hike has been fruitless for the truck, but we found a few other small things here and there that are somewhat interesting. So we'll keep going. It could be anywhere around here. And the closer we get back to that little ancient encampment, I wouldn't be surprised if it's around there somewhere. So you just never know. That's why you got to come out here and take a look. And what I thought was the truck on Google Earth turned out to be not at all. Which is not the first time we've seen things on Google Maps that didn't pan out to fruition. It's interesting looking up these rocky rock faces. It almost looked like a prospect hole somebody started digging there. And it may very well have been. People looking for minerals in these rocks. Just never know. Looks like these trees have been cut down, so, you know, if it was an old logging truck, that this is an area that's been logged, so you just never know. All this could have been an ancient road at one time, so that's why we got to keep our eyes open and see if there's anything interesting. All right, for those keeping track, we just hit 7 miles. 2,000 foot elevation gain. Heart rate's comfortable 106 beats per minute, 4 hours, 17 minutes. Still looking for this old derelict truck that is supposedly out here, and have not found it yet. So we're gonna keep looking and we'll let you know. Now I'm purposely avoiding the wash where we came up, which is back that way. I'm trying to come back down to this kind of open area that's on our right side as we come down to see if maybe it's out here somewhere. This should eventually lead us to that old settlement we saw, that kind of collapsed wood cabin or whatever it was, and those car parts. All right, so kind of going cross country, we found some things here. Here's some wood. Clearly was an old shelter or cabin or something, maybe, I don't know, outhouse for all I know. I'm not gonna start digging because you never know if there's snakes under there. Over here's a campsite, and here's something burned, some burned plastic. I don't think they had plastic 50 years ago, so I'm guessing somebody camped here. Well, somebody made a chair for themselves at this campsite. There's some wood, some firewood, so yeah, clearly somebody camped here. You never know what you find off the beaten path. I think there's another campfire down here. There's kind of a path that leads down to it, so yeah, it's hard to say how old this is. Over here, just another fire pit. Yeah, just another fire pit over there. But yeah, 2 campsites, so people are out here camping, but still no evidence of this truck. All right, so I'm gonna take a quick break here at this campsite. I don't know what this is. There could be other things around, so I'm gonna walk around a little bit, but been hiking all day, 7.75 miles, 4 hours, 42 minutes. I'm gonna have a quick snack here before we head on, and drink some water, take a load off, have a snack, and then we'll continue our hike and see what else we can find out here. So digging around here, saw something sticking out, and it looked like somebody buried something here. A stash of something. It might be trash in here. I don't been too much of an animal or something, or even dirty ass underwear. I don't know. I feel like tent poles. There's some other bottle or something under there. That's a bottle of water. That's a full bottle of water. Somebody stashed some stuff out here. There's even more stuff. There's 2 bottles of water. This is somebody's stash. Somebody stashed some supplies here. 2 bottles of water. There's maybe a tent or sleeping bag. Yeah, it might be worth checking out. This is a tent. I feel tent poles in there. I don't want to take it out. Maybe it's somebody's stash, or life will depend on it someday. Who knows? But anyway, it appears there's a tent. There's 2 bottles of water in there. It's hard to say what else is in there, but clearly somebody buried a cache of supplies here. So let's. I'm just gonna nose around a little bit and see. I'm not gonna take anything. I just want to see what's buried there. Look, I don't want to disturb somebody's survival cache, but no. I'll rebury it. But it's clear somebody buried a lot of water here. These are all full of water. There's an empty bottle there. There's a tent here, so a tent and some water. Somebody stashed some supplies here in case they got stuck in the mountains. So we're gonna dig around a little more, see what's here, but we'll probably bury it back and leave it for whoever came up here. And it might just be an emergency cache for some hikers, but keep in mind, anything you see here had to be carried in. So that's a lot for one person to carry. I don't know why I keep finding these weird caches buried up in the mountains outside of Las Vegas, but you never know what you find out here. Oh, so we covered it back up. It looks like it was just several bottles of water in a tent somebody cached out here. Was this Kenny Veach's cache? This location is probably, 5 to 7 miles north of the Hidden Forest cabin, in the deepest, highest elevation of the sheep range, which means maybe 10 to 15 miles from the mine shaft where his phone and keys were stored. Could Kenny hike 10 to 15 miles in a day? I think he could. He had done it before, so yeah, it's not outside the realm of possibilities that somewhere in this area could be the either final resting place or a place where Kenny Veach had planned to come and just hide out for a while. At any rate, it is a strange cache of supplies we found here, which just leads us to the next question is, what else is out here? We're going to start heading back towards that encampment that we encampment area that we found on the way out, and see if we could find the truck or anything else out here. But just kind of interesting to find this. Continuing our trek cross country, because clearly our goodies are off the beaten path. So I haven't found the truck yet. I've found a lot of other interesting things, but not the truck. On the clock, I've got 8 miles, 2,000 foot elevation gain, 5 hours. Let's keep going. We are on starting our journey back, but we're just, like I said, going slow towards this old settlement. See if there's anything that it could be with that looking like where that truck is. And like I said, the settlement itself, the trash we've seen, old buildings that are collapsed, vehicle parts, all lead me to believe that the story of the old truck is true. It's out here somewhere, but you could take a look at this vast wilderness. It could literally be right there, just 20 feet in front of us, and you wouldn't see it. And that's more than likely the case. So I'm gonna contact to go back. I think he may know some people who may have a GPS point of it or a picture, and if that's the case, then there'll obviously be a part 2. But yeah, like I said, you don't hit the jackpot every time you go to the casino, but you're not going to win if you don't play. That's why we're out here. Should be pretty close to that old settlement. We're heading to the main wash. Saw a rock cairn, and my partner said he saw a rock cairn leading into the wooded area where we found that campsite. I just assumed they're trail markers, but there clearly might be something else. So we're coming in from where the rock cairn was over there, searching this area. I'm not seeing anything here, but my partner's further down there. See if he sees anything over there. All right, now you folks have asked about snakes, and I'll be honest, I've never seen a snake out here, never. But never say never. I just saw a snake. I'm looking at him right now, and now you're looking at him. He is, if you can't see him, he's not poisonous. I can tell just by looking at him. But he's a really cool one. He's several feet long, and I'm gonna get close. He's probably gonna take off once I get close, but I wanna show you that yes, there are snakes out here. He's sunning himself. Can you see him? He's cool looking. I don't wanna get too close. I know he's gonna take off as soon as I get close. Because he's probably really fast. These whiptails are usually really quick. But I just wanna show you that yes, there are snakes out here. All right, now he's probably gonna slither away when we get close, but I know you guys want to see him up close. So let's see how close we can get without scaring him. Slowly. Do you see him? He's kind of cool looking. Now you can tell by the eye and the kind of rounded snout and that round eyeball, he's not poisonous. And I can tell by the yellow stripes that he's not poisonous. Perfectly safe to pick up, but I'm not going to. A lot of times snakes have a really kind of stinky musk that they release as defense mechanism. So he may see me and be completely terrified and just frozen in fear. But you know, like I said, we're not going to pick him up. I just want to show you really quick what he looks like up close. You can see his scales and everything. But yeah, this is definitely a non-poisonous snake. So he's cool looking. There's no reason to disturb him. He's enjoying himself in the sun. He's comfortable, so we'll just let him chill in the sun and enjoy himself and go on our merry way. But yeah, it's just kind of cool looking. So we're coming along off the beaten path. It looks like a road or a wash or something, not really. And coming across this here, this object is sticking in the ground. Looks like there might be a lock on it or something. Yeah, there's a lock on it. A wellhead, but why would they have a well way out here in the middle of nowhere? I can assure you it's a good 2-3 miles back to the trailhead, and here is this metal object in the ground in the middle of nowhere. Why is it here? What's it doing? If you know what this thing is, comment down below, and I'd be interested to hear what you say. Don't say anything ridiculous like it was put here by aliens. Obviously it wasn't aliens, don't use locks, everybody knows that. But yeah, it's strange it's out here in the middle of nowhere. As you can see, the trees are thinning out. We're on that downhill trek. Believe it or not, I've got 9.42 miles on the clock. I'm not really tired. My legs are doing just fine. Could I do another 9 miles? Maybe. I wouldn't want to, but I probably could. But yeah, it's all a downhill incline from here to the truck. And we'll keep our eyes open for anything interesting. Didn't find the truck, like I said. That means there will more than likely be a part 2 of the derelict truck video series. Yep, a series. I haven't given up yet. And I've also been told that's not the only vehicle out here. So Desert National Wildlife Refuge is as big as a state. It's a massive area. This is the eastern side. We've been focusing on the western side, and you just never know what you're going to find out here. Like I said, that's the second cache of supplies that we found today. Last one, Junebug Mine 3, huge cache of supplies today. Some water in a tent. I mean, you just never know. People come out here, and you just never know what you're going to find. All right, I got 10 miles on the clock. 10 miles, 6 hours, 2,000 foot elevation gain. My feet and my legs feel a hell of a lot better than they did the last time I was out here for some reason. Maybe I was rested up, maybe I had a meal. I don't know what the deal is, but at any rate, we got skunked. It just happens. We went up in those mountains there. That truck is up there somewhere. I know it is. I have it on very good authority that truck exists. And suppose there's pictures of it. If I find pictures, I'll post on the community tab. But I'm going to make this as a part 1 for derelict truck video. Part 2 will be actually finding it. So once we get a GPS point or see pictures, I think we'll be back up there. Because now that I know where we're going, I know where it's not. I think we can go up there and see what's up there. But it's shaping up to be a beautiful day. I've got 12:37. We are maybe halfway to the truck, maybe a little bit more, and the weather's perfectly fine. So yeah, that's it. Let's keep going and head back to the truck. And woo! Oh man, what a hike! Like I said, I'm not as tired as I was last time. On the clock, 10 miles, 10.91 miles, 2,000 foot elevation gain, 6 hours, 23 minutes. This was a long hike. We didn't find the truck. That truck up there is my truck. It's not the truck we were looking for. So once we get some more information, if we can get more information on where the truck is, we'll be back out to film part 2 to find this truck. I've been told pictures exist. If they exist, I'll show you. But the individual that gave me the info on the truck is a credible source of info, so I have no reason to believe that they're not telling the truth. But that's about it for this adventure. Hopefully you like what you see. Please subscribe if you do, and you will definitely be notified when I post a new video. And the new video may very well be derelict truck part 2, where we actually find the damn thing. So until the next time, thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. See you in the next adventure.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the videos, please subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified when I post a new one. All of my videos are unscripted as they happen. I can't promise they'll be exciting, but I can promise they'll be 100% real. My name is Steve from Las Vegas, and these are my adventures.